Who do you think probably didn't load the game early enough? Or didn't do a preloader?
It wasn't me.
Oh. Well, I'm assuming, because Take, Zeph, and I have been casting all day. I was going to try and call you up. But small note, Startail Life doesn't have auto worker rally. Not
Yeah,
the,
man.
Interesting.
Not the biggest
He's a man. He wants to split his workers.
Yeah, alright. Well, guys, without further ado, this has gone from just the regular Dreamhack broadcast to the awkward, awesome TriCast edition. I'm Rifkin, joined by both Zeph and My Insanity's Penguin. And Penguin, no, Zeph specifically, why don't you introduce this player here in the top right corner of the map?
Well, this gentleman, quite a young player from the team Startail. It is Life.
Woo!
Is Laifu your waifu?
Penguin, you
I
want to do
wish.
that?
In the bottom right spawning location. Pulling out a couple of upsets already today. Can he make it another one and go 3-0 in his group? It's going to be our blue Protoss player playing for Evil Geniuses, JYP.
Yeah, and as stated before this match, guys, again, this isn't the match that you expected to see to be, we were going to see this match one way or another, but this isn't the one you expected to have so much on the line, because again, JYP has been upsetting like crazy today. 2-0 so far in his group. Him and JYP and Life are actually leading their groups right now. Not some, again, Life you kind of expect, but JYP coming out of nowhere, just playing like a monster today.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I think with the way these guys are playing today, this could easily be like a finals match. Like, I'm so impressed by JYP
Well,
from
all of these
earlier.
matches could be a finals match.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Dreamhack
more or
Winter,
less.
in case anyone forgot. Like, but okay, probe
Alright,
from JYP
well-
not getting too much done. As we've seen in the series previous to this and prior today, he's been really adamant about being active with his probe, like just constantly poking around where he can. And with the Forge coming out, not first, but on the way, we may see cannons. Just due to the way he's been playing today, I wouldn't be shocked to see cannons.
I don't really think he can cannon this natural, but he could definitely try to cannon the third if Life goes for an early third. But I don't know if you guys have actually caught any of Life's games today, but against Stardust, he was playing with really late thirds a couple of the games. So he's really pulling out some weird play, and, well, it worked against Stardust. He took a 2-1 win there, and it does look like... Is this going to be a third down there? Really? Looks like
That's kinda
Life's going to be
interesting.
expanding towards JYP.
Yeah, Life has always had a kind of slightly different playstyle to what everyone else has had, so that could certainly throw a spanner in the works for JYP. So like, well, what kind of stuff is he actually being doing with a late third?
Well, he's been doing, like, double upgrade Lings into Ultras, cool stuff like that.
Really delayed first blood, sorry guys.
Now,
Good one.
I want to point out, this hatchery it's not like Life didn't scout where JYP was.
Yeah, the overlord
and
went down
just
right
expanded
away.
towards him by accident. He's expanding towards him deliberately. So I wouldn't be too surprised to see Life go for some very aggressive play, perhaps a very Roach-centric aggressive play. We've been seeing him go for very early burrow as well. We could see some burrow movement, some tunneling claws stuff. We've been seeing that out of some of the Koreans since the buff. And just overall, this hatchery placement does generally dictate that Life is going to be playing a little bit more aggressively. The question is just how.
Yeah, and a small note here too, guys. Like, I see a lot of people in chat kind of speaking up, saying like, "There's no way Life loses to JYP." I was saying the exact same thing about Pulse, but 2-0 upset. Like I said, JYP is playing like a player we've not seen before in the past, and I don't know what it is. Whatever special dosage of monster they're giving him, one way or another, it's been paying off. Now we do have the Stargate coming up. I wouldn't be shocked if this was one Oracle. Maybe two at most, but this has almost got to be Phoenix against a Zerg player. I mean, you can't get a lot done because the Queens are always ready to defend the hatcheries. You're not going to get those free probe kills like you would against any other race.
Yeah, no doubt. Like, one of the easiest ways for Protoss to play is to fall back on that standard sort of Phoenix into Robo and then get your Colossus kind of style. But at the same time, on this map, a lot of sort of sentry-heavy pushes are very common as well, because the chokes can work quite nicely in that regard. But as Penguin mentioned, you know, he's got this aggressive third hatchery position. Like, what is he going to do with it? How is he going to utilize that? Because that's a really tough spot to be able to defend if he, for some reason, isn't actually going to go for something.
Well,
That's actually a funny point, because like this close hatchery also means that this Oracle's gonna have a lot less of a of a time to travel. And,
true.
you know, there's actually a lot of drones out already. There's no extra queens. There's one extra queen in production. But
queen's
with
gonna go
damage
down.
being dealt to this queen already, yeah, it should go down here. And this Oracle could actually do some very good damage. The Ling, I don't know if it spotted it coming, but it looks like it did. There is a Spore on the way up, but this is going to get there long before that Spore is done. And it could just
It can kill the
like,
queen.
all of those flippers.
It's gonna kill the queen outright. Second queen comes out. He'll take this down eventually, but JYP will probably go for like 3 or 4 more kills and then back out. Yeah, some pretty
Yeah,
good
well
control.
played there.
All right, meanwhile the Stalker
kills,
actually
5
gets away
of the
too. Baits the lanes into the cannon on top of that, and as Penguin just finished saying, as I rudely interrupted him, 7 kills on top. Not too bad.
Yeah, this is going really well for JYP. Like, he's down in supply, but that's very, very standard. But Life has just been droning. He doesn't have an obscene number of drones, but he is up to about 65 as soon as these next 10 will finish on up. Looks like we're going to be seeing a 2-base play out of JYP, though. He's adding on, or not necessarily a 2-base all-in, but he's adding on 3 more gateways and going for a robo. So it looks like he wants to stay on this 2-base, on these 2 bases for at least another couple of minutes.
Yeah, the Void Ray is kind of an interesting choice, I find, but it's going to be good against the Roaches, which you're expecting. But because Life is expecting the Immortals and the Sentries, he's investing in that Hydralisk then. So this Void Ray, again, it's not like it's a bad investment. It can still trade out versus Hydralisk to a degree, but it's not going to be as good as I think he thinks it's going to be.
We actually have a 3rd base coming on out for JYP, so he's gonna have
I think
to
it's
defend
kind of
his Ling
interesting that like, Life is he hasn't gone for Roach Horn at all, so he's going to be sitting on a Ling Hydra composition, so he could probably be pretty aggressive with this. He's only got to spread creep in one sort of direction to give himself a nice pathway down towards that base. And if he hits a spot where JYP isn't quite prepared for that, I mean, we all know how well Hydras do against that sort of gateway unit composition.
Ling Hydra's nice, but I kind of wish that JYP had, I don't know, observer, scout, something, hallucinations, like seen that it was coming, because he's going for a lot of, I mean, if the Colossus were already out, this wouldn't be a problem. It wouldn't even be scary in the slightest, but he's seen the Hydralisk Den, so I was looking around to see where that was, but still investing in the Void Rays, curiously enough.
Well, the thing is, like, he's also getting range first instead of movement, which is really nice, because since he took that closer 3rd base, there's just a lot less distance to travel, and there's already creep about halfway there down the right side. And now he's taking his 4th as an expansion away. So this 4th base is going to be very, very safe, because he's going to be the one piling on the pressure onto his opponent here. And even though there is a Colossus on the way out, there's no Colossi out just yet. When that Colossus finishes, it's not going to have range. And this Ling Hydra push could actually do quite a decent amount of damage, depending on how quickly Life decides to execute it.
I think a large part of that is going to be debated, though, where the fight comes down. Sentries and chokes on this map can make or break it, because of course there's a lot of little places where you get some pretty decent chokes off, but until you've got that Thermal Lance, you've got the same range as the Hydralisk with Groove Spines. Like, you can't just move into and win like you would normally if you had, like, say, 5 Colossus and Thermal Lance. That range, ugh.
I like the scouting slow Hydralisk.
Yeah. JYP. Alright, JYP's gonna start making a slow push, but this will be a good place. If he can force Life to fight here, a good force field location is right here, but if he pushes too far out, then all of a sudden he's in the open once again, so may have to do a little bit of baiting.
I don't like this move out at all from JYP.
Yeah,
He's down 50
this is
supply.
gonna be really scary.
+1's not done yet for these Hydras, but there's only one Colossus without range to deal damage. He's already doing so much damage to these units in front. One of the Void Rays getting so low already.
The force fields are not that good, too. Too many of them slip by, I feel. This is what he should have done. This right there. That should have been how this fight should have gone down, and he would have taken a very decisive victory. But instead, 4 force fields, again, good, but too late. Now he's lost most of everything. He kept the Void Rays alive, which is nice, but no Mothership Core, 1 Colossus, almost no Sentries. I mean, this follow-up push, there's not going to be a lot to keep it at bay.
Yeah, Life's out for blood now, and he's got the Spy coming up behind this as well. So do you reckon that'll be for Corruptors, or would it be for a Muta switch? Because he's banking a lot of money right now.
Definitely going to be Muta, since there aren't really any Colossi out. There's 1 Colossus out on the map. There's no range for it, so it has to be for Mutas. It's the only thing that really makes much sense. And Life, I don't think he's going to be able to actually take this, because a lot of his army's at home defending this Zealot run by. And as a result, this is a very good engagement for JYP, as he picks up a lot of Hydras essentially for free.
Well, I don't know about for free. He did lose quite a few never mind, only 7 works. I thought it was way worse, but Opens the floodgates here to the natural. No Zella in position.
Oh.
He can certainly clean this up with what he has, but he's got to move. And unfortunately for him, he doesn't have a very fast army.
Yeah,
No,
this is a
not
pretty
at
cool
all.
distracting tactic, because now the muters come up, so he's got 18, now 20 in production, just out of nowhere.
Oh my
He's
god,
not prepared for
21.
this.
Yeah, this is gonna really hurt.
There's no anti-air. Void Rays don't stand a chance versus Mutalisks. Stalkers are alright, but they don't have Blink just yet. Oh, I guess it'll be time for the Mutalisks coming out, but even then, there's not a lot of Stalkers. It's like 4 or 5. I mean, if he saw this coming with an Observer, like in a good scout or something, then maybe he already had that second Stargate on the way and double Phoenix production, but already on top of the probes here. Void Rays can do what they can. Their damage isn't bad versus the Mutalisk guys, but they just can't keep up. They're too slow.
And now we just have the Mutas continuing to shred absolutely everything. As you said, there's not very many Stalkers here, Rifkin, and I mean, the Stalkers are gonna blink forward and try to pick up a few of these, but the Mutas are just doing so much economic damage here. Down to only 34 workers is JYP. He's less than half the workers of his opponent. He's gonna lose a bunch of Mutas here, but it's fine. He's producing tons of them off those 8 gases.
On top
And
of
this
this,
is stretching Protoss too thin at the same time, because we've got Lings and Hydras at the third being annoying as well,
Yeah.
and even then, Life
50.
is just double expanding as well.
50 workers killed right now. I like the choice to try and be aggressive across the map here at JYP. Even kills the Queen in the main. But like Penguin said, this was so many workers lost. The Mutalisks, he may have lost some, but it was worthwhile.
50. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, this
so,
one
man,
Zealot's being
how
a
is he
bit of
ever
a
going to
hero.
contest this?
We had a Hero Zealot killing off several workers in the main, but
But look at
we're
the
gonna
top
need
left.
many more heroes than that to win this.
I mean, there's a probe up here. He can put a pylon down, but he can't afford to warp anything in to go aggressive against those extra bases because he's got to deal with this. There's one Colossus for the Lings. Good luck cleaning that up. You got to deal with the Mutalisks first. This base should
One
probably
more
go
person
down.
Ouch, this
Well,
is so
actually-
painful. The Nexus, yeah, that's
There you
definitely going to go down. It's dying so fast. There's tons of mutas out, 29 right now. On such a strong economy,
nice
it's
blink,
going to be
though.
really hard to put a dent in that.
Good blink to keep up with the Mutalisks. Again, their mobility is their strongest tool, but it's so easy for Life to just turn around and focus the Stalkers if he wants to.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, like, he's going to be going up against 10 or 12 gases very, very soon, and it's almost impossible to fight against 10 gases Muta Corruptor or just Mutas as like a Protoss with a good economy. He's going to be going up against 10 gases with almost no economy, 21 workers to 77 at the moment. Right now, it's 24 Mutas against 10 Stalkers and 2 Void Rays.
Side note, I want to just point out, JYP's actually been actively overcharging his Void Rays every engagement versus the Hydralisks versus the Mutalisks. Not that it does anything, but as we all know, Grubby taught us it makes you look a little scarier, so you win.
We have one
But,
final
oh, he
hurrah
steps
push
out.
coming out of JYP, though.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
even-
so painful.
He can't win a base trade is the problem in this scenario. He just doesn't have the bulk for it. He's going to move too slow.
There is one way for him to win this game. If Life goes full Nurgio and just bunches up all of his mutas and
On top of
doesn't
the
attack
Archons.
against these 3 Archons.
But no, that's not going to happen. Good game is called, and Life will take game 1 in this best of 3. All right, Penguin. Goddamn.
Yeah,
All right.
well, good game
Good.
from Life. Very, pretty one-sided. That's the kind of game I would have expected before seeing JYP's results today. JYP, he is 2-0 off of the back of his PVT so far. So his PVZ looks like Life just has an answer to PVZ, but JYP may be able to show us something else in game number 2. This is the best of 3, of course. Only 1-0 now for Life.